Hey everyone, so today I want to show you how you can rationalize the denominator when you're trying to solve an equation and you find that your denominator has become irrational, so there's a root down there. Well, the first example here shows one term, a monomial, and we have a root. So what we can do is simply multiply that by a square root, because I know that the square root of 7 is the same as 7 raised to the power of 1 over 2. So if I multiply that with 7 raised to the power of 1 over 2, again, I'll just be left with 7 raised to the power of 2 over 2, which is really the same as itself, 7 raised to the power of 1. The second example also has one term in the denominator, except this time it's a root 4, so it's not a square root, and we can't just multiply it by itself like we did before. What we could do is we can simplify this and say that 7 root 4 is the same as 7 raised to the power of 1 over 4. So at this point, what we're trying to do is multiply it by 7 again, raised to some power that will allow us to obtain 7 raised to the power of 1, which is rational. We know the laws of exponents. We know that if the bases are the same, we can just add up their powers. So in this case, we have 7 raised to the power of 1 over 4 multiplied by 7 raised to the power of 3 over 4. Because when I add up the exponents, then I'm left with 7 raised to the power of 4 over 4. And that is the same as 7, which is rational. For the final example, we'll be looking at denominators with two terms, and we have a square root in there that is causing it to be irrational. I will only be showing you binomials in the denominator where the root is square, because when it's not a square root, it starts becoming too complicated. So we'll only focus on binomials where the root is a square root. Because in cases like this, we have a simple rule where we multiply the top and the bottom by the subjugate of the denominator. So if the sign between these two terms is plus, it becomes minus, and we multiply it by that. The reason being that when 7 raised to the power of 1 over 2 plus 5 is being multiplied by 7 raised to the power of 1 over 2 minus 5, this is the same as using the difference of two squares. And if you remember the formula, we know that we'll be left with a squared minus b squared. And since a is a square root, when we square it, it will end up becoming rational. So now we can simplify this, and we're left with a rational denominator. Alright, so I hope this was helpful for you guys. See you in the next video.